because I had created this music back in April and just had emailed it everywhere, not gotten any traction. And finally I was like, I got to do it myself. I got to make some noise. And I filmed a bunch of videos of me dancing on a stump, and suddenly they went viral. And now my friends are texting me like, hey, you're on Chris Lake's live stream right now. And so it was absolutely surreal to see two dance music legends, listening to my music and jamming out. I had this unique just set of circumstances come together where it was kind of now or never. My friend said, it's time for you to leave the country and do this like solo nomad hero's journey. So I ended up traveling 11 countries in 12 months.
By yourself?
By myself, yeah. I sold everything, sold my car, and just kind of sent it. I had a one-way ticket to West Africa, and I landed in Guinea.
It's Powertools, and we got Narasimha in the house. How are you doing, brother?
I'm great, man. I'm excited. I'm healthy. I'm moisturized. I feel good.
Moisturized is important, bro.
Super important. You get real dry, especially around the elbow.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, man. So, like, you've had releases on Chris Lake's Black Book, on Hugel's Make the Girls Dance, on Wildlife. You've been supported by Francis Mercier, More Black, Malay. Your latest single, Wakili, is incredible, and that's on Black Book. I mean, let's go back to the beginning of Narasimha, and I want to understand, where did you find your passion for dance music?
Yeah, I'd have to say it's the first time I walked into a West African dance class that I was taking here in Culver City.
Okay.
Walk in, and it's there's a djembe,
right?
But a djembe with a full ensemble, which, a lot of us have heard the djembe, usually by like a white dude with dreads on the beach in Venice. Right. But to hear it in its full context, with there's other drums called the dunduns, the kinkini, sangbon, dundun. It's played in a whole ensemble. As soon as I heard those drums, it was like an instant pathway to ecstasy. And I'm dancing and I'm listening to these drums in class, and I'm just thinking, man, if someone just put a kick drum under this, like, this is the original dance music. And
so they were playing the drums live in the class?
That's how we do it in class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
you dance
crazy.
facing the drummers, and it's just this feedback loop of energy between the drummers and the dancers.
And that's when you're like, man, if they added a kick, this is okay.
Then it's house music, yeah.
Right. And then at that point in time, were you listening to other DJs, getting inspiration?
A little bit. I had, gone to EDC back in 2011. I'd listened to a bunch of dance music, but I think at that time I was listening to a lot of live music as well. I got really into trap music, so that's kind of what got me into producing electronic music.
No doubt. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then, your production style is like so unique with all the percussion. I mean, talk to us about your overall approach when making music. I mean, you're naming off these drums like I would name off cereal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're flying. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're a percussion expert.
I'm definitely interested in percussion. Percussion lover, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. My approach to making dance music, and the reason I use so many drums is what I really want to do is connect people back to what we used to do in ancient times, which is gather around a fire with drums, sing in community, dance in community. There's a special healing power of that kind of activity. And raves and dance music and gathering, that's all just an extension in the future of that. And I just want to more directly connect us to that feeling. And so for me, I mean, I love synths, I love futuristic music that's all made, via computers. But personally, what I want to do with my music is link people back to that time. So that involves, electronic production, but using these organic elements to really help us, connect to that somatic kind of release and dance.
Right. Your single Wakili on Black Box, that's so sick. And you traveled around the world to get this percussion. Talk to us about that. Yeah.
So end of 2024, I had this unique just set of circumstances come together where it was kind of now or never. My friend said, it's time for you to leave the country and do this solo nomad hero's journey. So I ended up traveling 11 countries in 12 months.
By yourself?
By myself, yeah. I sold everything, sold my car, and just kind of sent it. I had a one-way ticket to West Africa, and I landed in Guinea, which is where the djembe and all these instruments are from there. And I wanted to pursue authenticity, inspiration. I don't want to be someone that just grabs things that sounds exotic and call it Afro house. I want to actually go to the source and make sure that I'm not only learning it authentically, but I'm giving back, and I'm working with the true masters of the culture there. And so in Guinea, I was spending every day learning, 2 hours of dance, 2 hours of drums. And I went to Gambia, and I was the same, learning from a drum teacher there. And I even recorded some of the drummers in Guinea. And just from that inspiration, I learned how to arrange these drums. And Wakili even means courage in the West African language Susu, which I learned while I was there. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And what did you learn about yourself while being there?
What did I learn about myself?
Yeah, I mean, because that's a big one-way ticket. I'm doing this, There has to be like a deeper thing where, I don't know, to connect to the music, I guess.
Absolutely. I was going through a really emotionally difficult time there. Leaving my home. I'd also been estranged from my family for over a year at that point, going through heartbreak. And being in a new place like that, you don't have all your familiar comforts to cope. Right. And so I just had to face all those emotions, just full to my face. Right. But at the same time, I'm dancing, I'm doing these ancient, drumming, I'm participating in these ancient traditions that were literally designed to heal trauma, and all this stuff from my childhood's coming up, but I was directly like transforming it and alchemizing it through dance. And that's why I think it's so important that dance isn't just about entertainment, it's about healing.
Right.
And yeah, I really got to experience that firsthand there.
That's incredible. And so like Chris Lake saw a clip of this, right, that you put on social media, and all of a sudden, like, he's playing your song on his live stream. What went through your head when you first saw that clip? Like, Chris Lake's playing my song with Sammy Vergie. Like, what the fuck?
It was definitely surreal. I mean, it was triumphant also because I had created this music back in April and just had emailed it everywhere, not gotten any traction. And finally I was like, I got to do it myself. I got to make some noise. And I filmed a bunch of videos of me dancing on a stump, and suddenly they went viral. And now my friends are texting me like, hey, you're on Chris Lake's live stream right now. And so it was absolutely surreal to see a dance music legend, two dance music legends, listening to my music and jamming out. And at the same time, it also felt natural. It's like, this is the natural consequence of putting in the work and believing in myself. And, I always say this thing, like, everyone who bets on me wins. And I think what I did last year was fully went all in on myself. And this is a natural consequence. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And what does it mean for like Chris Lake to like personally kind of co-sign your track on Black Book? That has to like, wow.
Oh yeah, I mean, Black Book is a dream label. Yep. It's a label I've been wanting to get on for a long time, and it, I'm really just honored. I'm honored that he took a chance on my record, and very grateful.
That's really, really dope, man. And let's talk about, like, I guess in dance music, I feel there's not a lot of percussion, but I do see it coming in. Like, where do you see percussion in dance music in the future?
I mean, percussion is the original dance music. I really think this is us getting back to our roots,
right.
And I think, with AI, the increase in AI, or just like the development of AI and how much technology plays a part of our lives, I think those moments where we get that human touch, and there's nothing like hearing like a drum played by a hand. There's something that it connects you to that is before all of this, and all of us are looking to get into nature, to get outside of this technological world. So I think, percussion is one of the things that will bring us back to what it was like before all of this.
But you're 100%. A lot of the early dance, it was like tribal, and the drums moved, and there were live percussion, but we took them and sampled it, but it had that live element in it, and that kind of have disappeared over the years, but I do see it coming back now, which is dope. And then when I hear your music, you're like at it times 1,000, where it's like, oh man, it's the forefront, it's the thing. It's not like a little piece of sauce. It is the sauce, the main ingredient. And that's what I really love about your music. And, Baco, on Hugel's Make the Girls Dance label, I mean, that's a vibe. Talk to us about the inspiration of that song and how you caught the attention of Hugel.
Yeah, so when I made that song, that was actually the very first song I had made for the Narasimha project. I had just started it, and I had these Pan-African influences that I really liked in drums, and I also knew I wanted to make something that was like DJable, and I was kind of forming and I went to Burning Man and I saw Blondish playing with a djembe player, and she played a Disclosure song, Tondo, which is a rework of an Echo Roosevelt song, West African funk musician, and it just made me realize like how I could combine these influences in the way that I want. And so what I kind of wanted to do was, there's a lot of very like kind of vibey, chill Afro house, and then which is very colorful.
Right.
And then there's tech house, which has energy but can be pretty like straight up and down,
right?
Which I love too. But I wanted to make something kind of in between that, either Afro house with energy or tech house with a bit more flavor. And Baka was kind of what happened out of that.
That
and then,
is sick.
Thank you.
And how did it get into Hujel's hands?
It was totally just a cold submission to his. I think he had just started his label, Make the Girls Dance.
Right.
I believe release number 8, so I was able to catch it at an early time. I just cold emailed or cold. I think it was on Trackstack. Submitted it. Saw that it had been shortlisted, and months later I get an email saying, "Hey, we want to sign the track."
Wow, your first track. That is crazy. Yeah. That is crazy. And how many drums do you like own personally? Like, is your place full of like all these drums, or do you go out and rent them, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had the space to have a bunch of drums, and now I'm actually in transit, moving to New York. So I just have a djembe, and I have a tama, which is an amazing drum I learned about in Senegal and Gambia. It's called a talking drum. So I just have a couple drums, but there's a really amazing place in Inglewood called Motherland Music. It's kind of the hub for all the West African drum teachers and dance classes, and they have all sorts of drums that they get from West Africa and skin here, and they have pretty much every kind of drum you can want. So whenever I need one, I'll go to them and ask if I could borrow one to record, or I'd highly recommend visiting that if you ever want to learn about drums.
And these dance classes where you play drums, are you now playing the drums in any of these dance classes?
Oh man, I'm definitely not at that level yet.
Oh, no?
You got to hear.
I'm hearing your records. They seem like you're at that level.
Oh man, yeah. When you hear master musicians, it's a whole nother level. So I'm really grateful to have my drum teacher Maguette. He's amazing, 3-time Grammy Award winner, composer, writer on the Black Panther soundtracks, and he's my teacher. And every so often, when I can get a hold of him, when he's not too busy playing for like Stevie Wonder, he'll play along with me at my DJ sets. And man, to hear him play, it's just another level. So then that's the vision going. When I'm playing Coachella someday, it's going to be a whole ensemble of West African dancers and musicians and drummers. Not just me on stage. So
that's amazing, man. So what do you got cooking for 2026, man? I mean, I know you got more music coming, or you got more music in the works. What do you got cooking?
Oh, so much. I mean, tonight I'm getting in the studio with DJ Habib Beats, and he's showing me all this like amazing Iraqi music, and we're going to try to do some stuff there. And I'm just inking, I'm not going to jinx it by saying with who yet, I'm just inking a deal with one of my favorite producers to release the other music I made in West Africa. He's just an absolutely legendary producer, artist really, that I've been listening to for a long time. So once that's set, we'll be dropping a lot more music.
Nice, man. I don't know, when I listen to the music, it just speaks to me, and I'm just like, there's so many songs that everybody's copying everybody else, and it's very rare that you see or hear something where you're like, this is unlike anything I've heard in a long time. Other artists that you are like vibing with that are on kind of the same wavelength?
Yeah, I mean, I love Melee. I love how he uses his drums. There's a guy, Jesus Fernandez in Spain.
Oh, yeah. No, we play some of his stuff,
He's incredible, yeah. And Gregor Salto, of course.
Right.
But I'm really influenced by people like Skrillex and Flume, who just like, maybe sonically you might not hear the relation, but just from an energy perspective, like what they did was went and created their own lane. Their genre can only be defined by their own name, right? And so for me, it's about really being authentic to who I am. Like, dance music is the form through which I'm expressing myself, but the essence isn't really bound to any type of style per se. So who knows? I may branch out into other types of music. I mean, I really want this project to do so much more.
But the essence is going back to the core, to the motherland, and having that speak, whether it's house music, whether it's another form of dance music, that's
Yeah.
still the essence.
Yeah, the essence is make you move, help you heal your trauma, make you feel good, and make you feel powerful.
I love that, man. Well, we appreciate having you on, bro. And you got to keep on sending us music, and we'll have you back again.
Oh, I would love that. I'm really honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Powertools.